Hi there, my name is Dotharick, and welcome to the first episode of my playthrough of Aloft. This is going to be my first series on the channel, but I plan to continue to do more stuff like this in the future, so if you do enjoy the video, please consider subscribing so that you can watch more of the series, and any series I may do in the future. Now, I've played through a decent amount of the current content of Aloft already during the closed beta tests that happened a couple months ago. So a lot of this will be some more how to play than other series I may do in the future, and other playthroughs that you may have watched. But that said, there have definitely been some additions and changes since those tests, and I'm excited to explore them with you. So, without further ado, let's create our character. And let's get started. So it started us off here. I'm a guy. I like to play guys. I tend to make characters at least vaguely look like me. We'll say these face options don't super lend themselves to that. I guess that's the closest. Let's see. Maybe something like that's good. What about like that? Oh, I didn't even realize that was a double man bun. Go shorter hair. Could go with some braids. Braided mohawk. It's an interesting one. But I think I'm probably gonna go with this one. Like I said, I enjoy making characters that look like me. And with that in mind, then we make him brown. Sweet. Seems like a good start to me. We'll name him Dotharick. And let's get going. Alright, we've got our character. And you can see we've got the island creator down here. Now this is something that was disabled during the tests that I was in. So that's definitely something that I want to check out, but I think I just want to get into the game right now. So let's just name it playthrough and create that world. I think we've got a longer loading screen than normal, but even then, we're right into it. All right, yeah. So our presumably flying ship has crash landed on this floating island. And we need to get some resources. Says, looks like we can grab these just off the ground. I feel like that little glow is supposed to mean that I can pick it up. Oh, I can gather that. Some more wood. Seeds and some leaves. Okay, I feel like that's supposed to mean that I can pick it up. That's what I remember from the beta. We also need to grab more stone. I mean, there's a bunch of wood around. Okay. Alright, I think we've mostly got what we need, but there's a little bit. You might want to grab more ingredient or more resources than it says. We can go into our inventory. And here you can see we've got a learn option and a craft option. Now for this I'm going to go craft, which also learns it for you, because I know I need it. But when you're making new stuff or figuring out new recipes, oftentimes you're just going to want to learn them instead of fully crafting them. And here's kind of why I grabbed more resources. So that way I can like actually kind of make this look nice. You might see that little bar at the bottom of my reticle when I am swinging. That's my combo bar. If you hit during that yellow section of it, you get some special effects. Generally it's like an AoE hit. So for like weapons and tools, like you can see I was able to finish off multiple of these at once when I hit the combo. Yeah. So our most valuable resource, creativity, was truly limitless. So these are knowledge stones. You can see it in the little quest marker there too. But you go up and interact with these, and they give you recipes. Generally, very important recipes. More decorative recipes you tend to get from another method that we'll be able to talk about a little bit later. Here we're gonna craft up a sharp stone. It's important. Doing some rock napping. We can, with this, we can craft an axe and a pickaxe. And it wants us to use the pickaxe here. You see, that's another reason that I wanted to gather just a bunch of resources here at the beginning. That way I could just have my full basic tool set right off the bat. And we can get moving. See, there's some rocks here. But we gathered enough resources that we shouldn't need a ton more right now. But these do have a chance to give us, you can see it in the corner, those wind stones, which are pretty nice and handy. But these rocks have a pretty low chance of that. I'm really surprised that the first rock I broke had one, to be honest with you. Well, there we've got our first new thing. That's definitely new. Holy cow. I believe that's called a Leviathan. There were some references to them in the betas that I played. But holy cow, that thing is cool. We've got we come out into this main area. There's a couple structures around this opening island for you to check out if you want to. A little Minecraft style parkour section. Some little houses and stuff, but let's stay focused, at least to some extent. And we've got another knowledge stone here. Our journey is not defined by what we abandon, but by what we carry with us. What's that gonna give us? That's the home kite. Okay, I'll talk more about that in a second. Probably actually closer to the end of the video, to be honest with you. But let's follow the quest here. It wants us to reach the top of the mountain. Follow this path up. You can grab these little face sculptures. They didn't have much use in the betas that I played, but I'm sure they're gonna come in handy. They are a separate resource after all. This is not a game to give you random useless resources. Oh, I don't think they're gonna be too integral. I could be wrong. And up here at the top of the mountain is where you're going to find your first fresco. It's this thing right here. You can see when you look at it, and you can see it when... should have pointed this out actually when we were looking at the knowledge stone as well. When you look at them, you get this little like glowy glint effect. That can be useful from spotting them from farther away. It used to show them from really far away back in the beta, but I don't think it is right now. But yeah. Let's look at this fresco. Learn about the people of the past. It's a guy with wings. I act surprised, but I know what that is. Yep, and we've got that's a weird thing that's happening with the frescoes here. I don't feel like that was an issue in the beta, but you know, we'll work with it. All right, and so we've unlocked a glider stand, and you can build things in this, and you can deconstruct them later for all the resources that you used, so you can just place things wherever and then break them later. But for this, we're going to want to get what is the last of the recipes that we currently have available to us with the resources we've got, and we're going to make some leaf cloth. I believe that's enough. And I'm just going to break this workbench. More wood is more wood. Go to the glider stand here. Yep, that is enough. And we can mess around with some colors. Design it how we want it. I like that. Okay, it looks like, well, I mean, we don't have any of the dyes yet. And it looks like in the future we might be able to mess with shape and trail. That's cool. And yeah, you can see there's a whole upgrade thing here for these, and this is not currently implemented yet, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong though. Wasn't in the beta, but we'll see. And from here, we can equip our leaf glider using E. And now we have kind of part of this game's claim to fame, I'd say. Is this glider is so sick. Like, this glider has a lot of cool things that this game has a lot of cool things that it does. But I think this glider is chief among them. It's just, oh, so much fun to use. Like, I'll probably have to cut out a lot of this just because I'm just having too much fun just gliding around. Okay. And we can kind of check out some of the other structures here on the main island, or on the starting island rather. It's not the main island. You're gonna choose your main island later, or we're gonna choose our main island later. But yeah, we've got some loot around. We got these little seaweed baskets. Obviously, just the normal resources. Ooh, we got a ladybug. That'll be handy later. Start working with corrupted islands and stuff. Just getting some resources, and that's kind of all this area around. Like all the other structures here around are just some resources. These stumps are super nice. Now, I believe they've added more ways to get charcoal, but in the betas, that was pretty much the only way. And that ended up being really annoying. Ooh, some blueberries. But yeah, those burnt stumps like this. Oh, no, the ladybug! No! We killed a ladybug! It's not that big of a deal, but it still feels bad. around, get some blueberries and some wood. Ooh, and some paper. Now that's big. That's pretty big. Big thing that's gonna do for us is, well, it's gonna get us a bunch of new recipes once we get another workbench down. Which now I'm not remembering. Did I pick up my workbench from before? I think I did. Oh, there's another charcoal here with another ladybug on it. Yeah. Also, these charcoal stumps are a lot likely to have more likely to have the bugs on them. In my experience, as you might be able to tell just from me walking around, but they're not the only way to get them. It's just a bunch of resources around, pretty much. That's one of the structures. I mean, it gave us quite a bit of resources, to be honest with you. But it's nothing like groundbreaking, you know? That you're gonna find in these things. There's some water. You can also just get from, you know, any body of water. But I will go through and get all these charcoal bits. Might not include all of this in the video just because it's kind of boring. So just watch me go around and get resources. But here we have another thing that's actually kind of important. We've got a couple of these rocks that have these blue glowy bits on them. Now, these are windstones. Or they give us windstones. And I believe these are guaranteed. Whereas the other ones are, you've got a chance to get a windstone if you break a rock. These ones, I am assured to get a rock, or a windstone. And you can see, when I hit the combo, it even hit this stone over here, even though that was very much not the stone I was hitting. Notice those little charcoal stumps are not big enough for me to get a full combo off on. But windstones can be a little difficult to get sometimes. So it's good to just get a little stockpile of them right now. Because I've found that you find them everywhere until you need them. And then they're suddenly nowhere. Somebody was set up here like sketching. Oh, wait, no, they were facing this way. Interesting. Or can I sit on it this way? Nope, I can't. Okay. Yep, they were facing that way. To read. Why is the paper set up here there? I don't know. I didn't set it up, right? Just go around and grab some more blueberries, some more charcoal. Alright, now that I've gone around and gathered a bunch of the resources from this main island, or from this starter island. Oh, wait, actually, there's something in here. Oh, there's another knowledge stone. Sweet. Got another knowledge stone. Like right down there. From the second knowledge stone you found, or we found. This is a pretty spot. What are you gonna give me? Our duty is not to thrive, but to lay the foundation for those to come. Wooden walls. I think that gave me, yeah. All your basic wooden construction stuff. I think they could definitely indicate that better. Just gonna glide back up to the surface of the island. Beautiful. Go check out this house, and then I think I'm going to make my way somewhere else. Piece of paper, some wood, some stone in that chest. Okay, and there's a lot of things I could be, like I can deconstruct a lot of this stuff, but I don't want to, because actually I'll show you why I don't want to. Let's build ourselves a workbench. Open it, and you can see we've got a lot more of new recipes. And for these, I'm just going to learn them. Or a lot of them I'm just going to learn. Some of them I'm going to actually take. You can make clean water by using charcoal and dirty water. Charcoal, paper, and wood. We can get a sketchbook. That is something I'm going to craft. And that's what I want to talk to you about, but there are a couple more things that we can make here. Like a torch. Looks like that's it for now. Really wants me to build a torch, but in my experience, they've been kind of useless. But yeah, now that I have the sketchbook and have suddenly forgotten the inventory key, there we go. I can highlight some of this stuff, and if I don't have the recipe for it, it glows yellow. Now, I'm not going to take these recipes right now, but I want to be able to come back here if I want to make a table or a bench. I will take a chest, actually. But yeah. I just want to be able to... I made that mistake in one of the betas. I just, like, deconstructed everything, and then I was not able to be as creative as I would like to have been. Because I couldn't find any recipes. So keep that in mind for dismantling everything in front of you. You can also grab little twigs off of trees like this. It's a pretty decent way to get some wood. I mean, you can also chop down the trees. That'll give you leaves too, so it's pretty handy. Pretty sweet. In fact, I probably should be doing that. At least to some degree. It's like... let's get this tree. Now, with this game, you do have to worry about where the tree's falling. So if your tree's going to fall off a cliff or something, it can make it difficult to get your wood. So that's why I picked out this tree, because I knew I could position it to go this way. And the tree will always fall away from you, and there's no actual danger if a tree does fall on you. You don't take any damage or anything. But yeah, I think that's pretty much this whole starter island. Could be wrong. But yeah, pretty sure that's all we can find here. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, if you want to. You can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think that's all that we can do here on the main island. Or, sorry, I keep calling it the main island, the starter island. So let's make our way to another one. Not much to do out here on this island. Probably not going to include it in... ah, no! Blue beetle, going away. Wants us to find lost sailing knowledge. And that should be on this island. Nope, it's not. But there is a knowledge stone here. Sailing Island is a little bit further out. The great storm is the mill of humanity, ready to be born anew. And it gave us a mill. So we'll be able to use that to make, like, flour and, I mean, a bunch of grinding stuff. You know? Stuff you need to grind up. Not necessarily stuff you need to grind for. What was that noise? Not just a coming out of the water noise? I think it probably was. Sounded like it could be something else. Okay. So let's keep moving. Can't get up there. Okay, lighting time. Well, I mean, there's some stone, there's some wood, there's some charcoal on this island. I think I just saw in the most recent patch that they added more of those charcoal stumps, which is nice. Let's check out this island here. Not much going on here, but it's not a bad spot. And here we're coming up on these two islands. Now that is definitely your sailing knowledge island, if you want to just go straight for the quest. But I feel like most people are going to be a bit more interested in this bad boy. That said, we're not ready for this yet. We want to go to the sailing island. You can see this little whirlwind there. Gives a little height, gives a little speed, gives a little momentum on that momentum gauge. You can see under my health bar. But yeah, we're on the sailing island here. This is the sailing knowledge island. It's got little signs. You cannot take the signs. Here we've got our first piece of lost sailing knowledge. We were brought into this world to tame it, and tame it we did. And all of these little things are going to have a little blurb. Historical flavor. That requires a tool we don't have yet. And kind of the reason that we don't go to the... It's called the Corrupted Island over there. Just yet. Grab some more beetles as we go. Big tower. Let's see what's at the top of this. Some paper. Chest. Ooh, a bandage. That's nice. And then a bunch of leaves. Also pretty nice. Especially since we've been kind of not chopping down trees for whatever reason. That's not been a conscious choice of mine. I don't know why I haven't done that. Go around. You can break these barrels for some wood. You can deconstruct. I mean, you can deconstruct all of their structures if you really want to. It's also going to keep yelling at me that built construction pieces are removed using a hammer. I'm trying to hit these barrels, which are removed with an axe. The game doesn't believe me, though. Get some flour, some leaves, and an underwhelming soup. Alright, so this game handles food kind of similar to how Valheim does, if you played that game. So different. So foods are more so than anything else buffs. So you can see this underwhelming soup here. It's a basic meal made from too much liquid, apparently. Is going to give me 10 bonus max health for 6 minutes, and the hydrated buff, which increases my attack speed. You can see all of our miscellaneous achievements here, or achievements and resources. But yeah, so that find will definitely be good for when we fight the Corrupted Island. Which from just quick playing around in this since the release, I feel like they've made the Corrupted Islands a lot harder. It used to be kind of a joke in the beta, to be honest with you. But they seem to have turned it up quite a bit. Okay, I think I've got enough wood. We do some paper here, that's nice. See basket, another band-aid, sick. So you can obviously use the band-aids to heal. The wool ones are better than the leaf ones, and then you'll eventually get even better, which are linen. Oh, there's a chest here. There's a couple chests here. I mean, if you're just gonna give me a torch, I guess I'll take it. And that is another thing you'll occasionally find, at least like the simpler gear kind of around. Some of the more specialized gear you're not gonna, but like your basic tools you're gonna see them just around. This is a lot of rock. This is a lot of stone. Now suddenly it's not letting me gather it. Come on. Weird. It's definitely supposed to be gatherable. Got that one from that angle. There we go. Alright, well the game is in early access, so these kinds of issues are kind of to be expected. Hitbox error probably, it seems like. Especially since I'm also able to walk right through these stones. Not supposed to be able to do that. You see, maybe I can normally do that. I don't think these are supposed to be individual. It's not usually how they have handled this. Yeah, I think they'll probably see that at some point. I mean, there's still a Discord. I might link that Discord in the description, so you can look at some more stuff and get kind of involved with the community of the game. But yeah, I think we're gonna glide. We're not quite done with this island here. Oh, what the? Another weird glitch. That's interesting. We're looking for a second section of this island. And I believe that is this section right here. Where we're gonna find our next bit of sailing knowledge. Oh, and this is also where we find our second fresco. So we grab this key, which feels like it should be kind of hard to find. They end up being pretty easy. You end up having more keys than you end up needing if you're exploring a decent amount. But here we've got our second fresco. Glowy effect. And I just love this fresco room, by the way. It is gorgeous. But yeah. This. We're learning all about it. About how people used to sail on the clouds. And we get the helm. And you noticed when we got that other sailing knowledge before, we got the rudder. And the last couple of bits of sailing knowledge that we need to get are going to be the sails for our ship. Now, probably not gonna actually make the ship until you can see. Well, you can see the quest here tells us that there are 2 more anchors hidden on the island. So let's go find those. As you can see, they're not actually all that hidden. We sailed the winds, thanked to the storm, and mourned the sea. Oh yeah, if anybody's wondering, if you do fall, you don't like reach land. I think that you just die. We don't fully die, but you do the whole video games thing where you respawn with a little less health. There's that anchor that we found at the beginning. And we're supposed to have one more on this island, which is going to be our final sail. Some paper here. Probably going to want to grab that. Paper's an annoying resource to get later still. So definitely wanting to make sure I get as much of that for free as I can. Oh, rope. Incredibly important resource for us to pick up now. In fact, let's third on workbench, like right now. Rope. Huge. Huge. I knew we'd find some here. Alright, we don't have enough leaf cloth right now. Well, I mean, we can make the rest of the leaf cloth. In fact, we're going to. So that's 3 leaves for leaf cloth. We're going to make some. Normal leaves by themselves aren't super useful. Let's do 3 leaves. 3 leaf cloth, wood, and a rope. Does that give us? It's a bucket. I'm not going to make a bucket yet. We don't need a bucket yet. But we can learn all these recipes, and we don't have to use any of our resources for it. So no point in not learning them. Now, here's where we get to what I consider most important recipe we unlocked through the ropes. There. Now I've been disappointed with the sword, to be honest with you. But we can also go through and learn the sickle. I'm gonna take that one. And we need to make the field guide still. Oh, but we used all of our rope. Okay, well, then I'll show you how to normally get rope, because obviously I got that bit for free just by finding it on the ground. Well, but we've got one more anchor to find on this island. And this one's always the one I kind of struggle with. I've had 4 playthroughs of this game, and I've always kind of struggled with this one. I believe it's down, though. I think I'm thinking of a different island. Yep, I am. I'm gonna cut that part out, probably. Okay, let's find our last anchor. Maybe that wasn't tracking how many, and we've found all of them? Ooh, reishi mushrooms. Actually, yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I don't have the little quest marker anymore, do I? Okay, yeah. So let's go straight to the corrupted island now. Glider? Okay. Whew. That was weird. Glider wouldn't deploy. I want to do a little bit of prep before I go. Now, I am more prepared than I theoretically needed to be for this. But I wanted to make sure I got this done. So we've got our full tool set. We're going to use the door kip as a weapon, because that's both a hoe and a spear. And I found it really helpful to be able to keep the enemies away, and be able to hit them from further away. But here we find ourselves on a corrupted island. And let's land right here. And we've got an enemy. And you can see we've got combos with these two. We can come over here to this anvil. This anchor, rather, sorry. But I need to defeat the baddies. basically is what that means. I need to kill that thing. It looks like they've made this a little less environmentally hazardous. But like I said already, I feel like there are more enemies on these islands than I remember there being in the beta. I guess this first wave is gonna make me look dumb for saying that, though. It's not gonna have anything. Okay, kill this guy. Is that the only guy? Yeah, now I look stupid. Thanks, game. But yeah, we break those things again, and this bit comes down. We smack it up, and then 2 cycles of that, and it's dead. That's pretty much going to be how it goes for all of them. Yeah. Now this island is good to go. We can go into our inventory here. Did I not craft the field guide yet? I did not. But I think this island is fully good to go. There's going to be some that when you save them from the corruption, are not going to be fully okay. You're going to have to restore their ecosystem, which I think is a cool functionality that they've got in this. And this island specifically definitely used to be one of those. I remember having to work really hard to restore this one's ecosystem. Maybe that's why they changed it, though. Maybe they felt like they put it a little too early for how difficult they made the ecosystem recovery. So yeah, only by knowing where we've been will we know where to go. We can learn that. And that is a map, which is very nice, as you might imagine. Alright, so that's the starter island. We already did. So let's go. See, I definitely over-prepared, I think, for that. But better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. Alright, and then I mentioned momentum earlier. You can see it's right under my health bar. And that's how we do the boosts here. You spend your momentum to do the boosts. You can gain momentum by going down, or by hitting the little whirlwinds, like this one right here. Can boost over to it, and it'll push me up and fully recharge my momentum. Now you can fully glide without momentum. Like you can go up, you can go down, without spending any momentum. It's a pretty forgiving system, but it's nice. It's a nice little resource management to play around with. Alright, here we've got a small little corrupted island and a big one. It's at least 2 nodes. Counting 2. 2 nodes here. Yep. Let's hit the little one first, though. Land, and we're probably gonna have baddies. No. Okay. Hey, I'm fighting your boss. Or whatever. I don't know the lore. Oh, what the? Okay. It froze there for a second. I'm glad I was not actually fighting. Okay, we get this guy down. And there we go. There's some baddies. Oh. No. Stay back. Stay. Oh. You killed your friend. Why'd you do that? That's so rude. They're gonna have to call HR. So sad. Horrible to see this mushroom on mushroom violence. But yeah, that's another corruption node down. And I guess I actually forgot to mention, if you jump while moving to either side or backwards, you can do these little dashes. Real handy in combat. Just like memories, some things are better once shared. And we got a cooking plate. Now we don't have the means to actually use the cooking plate yet. So it's interesting that they gave it to us now. But we've got it. Let's move on to the big boy. I pulled out my axe on accident. Gonna do a little less damage, but it works out. Looks like that guy's kind of stuck. Oh, we got more guys. Yep, and they keep doing that as well. I don't know if that's intended at this point. Really been catching me off guard though. Don't feel like they did that in the beta. They definitely didn't get stuck like that. Stuck like this in the beta. Through. No more guys spawning. Core drops. I can beat the shit out of it. No. Get back. You killed your friend again. Man, you guys hit hard. I don't even think I had hit that one that you killed yet. It was very handy of you. Alright, and this should be the end of that guy. Oh, and we get our first, I like to call them maneuvers. We get our first one of those from that. That's nice. And let's move down towards the second core here. Alright, we can see lots of enemies around, looks like. Come on, guy. Let me show them how this move works. Yeah, so it's a little dash attack. You charge attack, add an enemy. Yeah, they'll glow blue, and then you can charge at them. It's real nice. Especially later on once you've got a bunch of them, a bunch of those maneuvers and stuff. You can get some cool combos going. And you'll just get those occasionally when you're killing corruption nodes. You see, they do hit pretty hard. That's not something that I was running into before, even in just like my play around playthrough real quick. That I was messing around, like my personal mess around with the new updates world. There wasn't friendly fire among them. That's an interesting thing. There was a really big patch just like earlier today, at least as I'm recording this, and might have messed some stuff up. Yeah, we have eliminated the corruption, but you can see this whole island kind of looks dead still. It's not looking great. And there's a bunch of these. Of course, there's none of them where I'm going, but there's a bunch of these vines. If you examine them, restore this island's ecosystem to remove these barriers. For the most part. I mean, you could just ignore this if you wanted to. But the big thing that gets you is this bad boy, because you can see it's all covered in this corrupted. With promise on the horizon, we trimmed our sails with the winds of our past. We can try and learn it, and it says no. It says no learning it for you. So we can head on down. And make ourselves a workbench, because we need to... Oh, actually, we can learn a couple more recipes now that we've got a couple more resources. We can learn how to make a leaf bandage. And big one, we can make ourselves some rope. Just gonna make 10 for now. And let's go ahead and make our field guide. Equip it, and it'll show us what we need to do. Alright, for this island, it just wants us to plant some more trees. I can do that. So when you chop down a tree, you'll get these little tree seeds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I believe it needed just one more. 7. Ecosystem's vitality is at 100%, and for a little bit after you restore an ecosystem, you can go into here and look at your conditions. You've got the enthusiastic condition. The feeling of accomplishments the feeling of accomplishment puts you in a flow state. All your stats are temporarily increased. It's a real nice little thing if you're having a corrupted island that you're having trouble with. Now you can't just like chop down one of those trees and then replant it to get the buff. It won't give you that. I believe it's only the first time. But still, with promise on the horizon, we trimmed our sails with the winds of our past. Let's learn that recipe. And there we've got the leaf square sail. And now that we've got all the stuff that we need to functionally make our base, I think that's where we're going to leave it. That will be the first episode of my playthrough of Aloft on this channel. Next time, we're going to find a home, pretty much. We're going to find a place to set up, and we're going to make an island into a ship. Which is just such a cool idea to me. And if that interests you at all, feel free to keep an eye out for the next video coming out. Peace!